Okay, bringing up the chat. Just started going live. It is November 2nd, 2025. I don't expect anybody to show up. I'm going to start in because this will, I'm going to leave this up so others can watch it after the live stream ends. So it's a little bit like a video that I don't have to edit. Hold on, I need a couple more things to get ready. All right. So the goal today is to try out two new stones. I have here a Vermont green that is purple and has a burnished side and a non-burnished side. I think this is the non-burnished side. These stones are already finished for me, so I don't have to do that, which is very nice. The other stone that I'll be using, trying out, just received, is this translucent Arkansas. That's not translucent. It's a butterscotch color. I'll be talking about how that happens a little later. But very cool looking stone. And again, the vendor of these stones, who is, her name is Sophie, and I think it's Sophie's Cutlery and Stones or something like that. I should have the name, but I don't. Sorry about that. I'll link it in the description when I create one, or I'll edit the description with it. Anyway, this is a same thing. This has a burnished side and a non-burnished side. I think this is the burnished side, and I think this one is slightly textured. I'll probably use this. I tend to prefer the textured side on stones. So that's the whole stone situation. And now what am I going to hone? Well, the goal, here, let me put these aside. These are the finishing stones. What I'm going to be honing with, I'm going to do all the preparation on a Lavenette codicule, and I'm going to be honing two H.M. Christensen razors. Both of them are 5/8. This is a square point, and then this one is a round point. Slightly French point, but I think they would call this a round point. H.M. Christensen is Brockton, Massachusetts, so American made. And I guess without further ado, we will get going. As I said, this is a Lavenette. I'm not going to push the edge on this Lavenette. I'm simply going to use it to create my own bevel on each razor, and then to refine that bevel to just before the finishing level. Now I expect, I've never used either of the two finishing stones before, so this is my first experience with them. I am not expecting perfection here. I just want to get start. Anybody who's watched me before will know that, it takes me a while to get to know a stone. I just try some things. Hey John, how are you? JPO, good to see you. So you probably missed my introduction, so I'll briefly tell you what I'm up to. I have two H.M. Christensen razors. These are made in the U.S. One square point, the other is round point. I'm going to I should before I go any further. These are both shave ready. They came right off of eBay and they are shave ready. So I might be able to end this right now. Yep, as you can see there, this one's certainly shave ready. At least the eBay definition of shave ready. And certainly this one is the eBay definition of shave ready. So I'm going to hone them anyway, even though they're both shave ready. I'm going to do the brunt of the work on this lavinette, which I just put a slurry on. And then one razor will be finished on this green, Vermont green, which is purple. And the other razor will be finished on this translucent arc, which is butterscotch in color. I got these stones from a vendor who I encountered on our wet shaving Discord that's associated with the Reddit wet shaving subreddit. So let me continue here. I want a very good slurry. The way I tend to do this is to use a very heavy slurry until I know I've got the early stages of bevel formation into shaving sharp territory, and then I'll do the delicate business. Now the Vermont Slate came with two slurry stones. One is so that's green Vermont, so one of these is sort of a charcoal gray, and the other is purple, like the Vermont green. So this woman, she's in touch with a quarry. She works directly with a quarry where they are mining these stones, and she's on a mission to find a Vermont stone that is, I'm starting with the square point here. She's on a mission to find a Vermont stone that hopefully performs in a similar manner to a Thuringian. So we'll see. She wants me to evaluate a charcoal gray Vermont green as well. I haven't responded to her about that, but I'm obviously willing to give that a shot. I'm not an expert on this, but I do, as you know, I have an Escher. That's a really good Escher that I can compare results with. Haven't seen much of you on video, John. Hope you're doing well. Love your content. Of course, I understand your content, having a similar educational background. You can see I've got this graying up very well. I can already feel. I have good contact at the heel and good contact through the blade. Been doing a lot of knife sharpening lately. Haven't really put any of that on video. I've been asked to, so I'm going to have to do some of that on video. Let's see where we are with this thing. We got to move this aside. All right, let's see. Take a quick feel for burr. Little burr there. Little burr. I'm feeling a little burr. There we go. That's gone. Let's see if we have achieved. Oh, yeah. Well, I repeat myself too. I tend to. Okay, so look at that. We're already at the very first. Yeah, I'd say we're at the very first stages of. Well, we're at shaving sharp, not shaving comfortably sharp, but we're definitely at shaving sharp here. So I'm going to start a dilution sequence. Well, I know what you mean about repeating yourself. I do it all the time, but my excuse is that with my advanced stage, I'm allowed to repeat myself. You have so many stones that you know, getting a chance to see them and hear you talk about them is you know, your experience of using them is going to be different from mine or anybody else's, and so that's at least very interesting to me to watch. And people tell me that they like having me tell them how I came about doing what I do. You know, like how is it that I, you know, use an angle and, you know, treat the blade, you know, like maybe a little differently from others. Like why don't I bother to do circles? Why aren't I too concerned about the type of stroke that I use, that kind of thing. Because I can guarantee you I know there are people who do not identify with my approach to sharpening, but who do identify with the way others approach it. So at its core, this is a pretty simple thing, and at its core, most of us do this simply because we enjoy doing it. So you can communicate your enjoyment of this, and it will be well received. Dilute that down a little. Let's see here. What time is it? It's let's see. Do you all follow the daylight savings time business? The stupidity that is daylight savings time. If you do, you'd be coming up on about 9 p.m. In Norway, I think. If you're on the same way of doing time as Paris. My son's in Paris, and so I know what the European time is in Paris. So thank you for joining me at a late hour. I know I'm also aware that tomorrow is Monday. And if you're not a U.S. government worker, you probably have a job to go to. Boy, the undercut on this is looking phenomenal, and the feel of the apex on the stone is also great. I think this is going to be a wonderful little razor. Looking forward to it. Yeah, 9 p.m. Yeah, the daylight savings time is a complete fabrication. It has no value in relating to the reason we actually we actually keep precision in time. Most of that has to do with navigation and agriculture, especially navigation. This razor has a little bit of oxidation right there at the toe, but I'm at the level where this is definitely this is done. Oh, I'm not showing this. Sorry about that. This is going in effortlessly, and I still have a finishing stone to go. So I'm going to put this one aside, and I'm going to build a new slurry. Get this one out of the way. Yeah, time is a man-made artificial thing, and it's pretty darn fascinating. GPS time is kept, and there are a variety of time scales. GPS time is its own time scale. It has a base date in the 1980s. I don't remember. I used to know exactly what that was, but I don't anymore. It's the second is an atomic second, defined by decay of not one but several radioactive elements. And so there's a formula for calculating a second based on the decay rate of those elements. And then the other interesting thing about GPS time is that each GPS satellite has its own atomic clock. And because those are in orbit, relativistic effects occur. So time synchronization between Earth and the satellites has to occur to account for drift between clocks on orbit and clocks on the Earth. So time's pretty darn fascinating. In case you're not, unless you're not really interested in it, in which case it's not fascinating at all. Greta Thunberg. Yeah, whenever I literally have a big garbage bag full of these because whenever I get them, in packaging, I throw them in that bag. I wonder if I sent something to you, whether you would, whether it would be opened and confiscated because of packing peanuts. Do you know? Does it matter the packing material that I use? If I didn't use Greta Thunberg packing peanuts, would the package actually get to you? Oh, this one is not behaving real well. I think we'll spin it. I've been testing with grapes and with cherry tomatoes a little bit, and while they work, there's a tendency to slice with those instead of push cut, and they vary. It's difficult. It's very difficult to remember the firmness of skin between one cherry tomato and another, or one grape and another. I mean, they work just fine, but in terms of repeatability, they're difficult because, of course, they're They're not manufactured except by nature, and they have even though they you know, you can pick two firm cherry tomatoes, but they have a variability in skin resistance to cutting. Enough variability that at the small levels of force that we use to test, at least I can detect it. So I'm definitely on a mission to find something other than the you know, these peanuts as a testing tool for cutting. Hey Bill, good to see you. Thanks for joining. Recap: I'm doing 2 H.M. Christensen Brockton, Massachusetts razors. Here's the round point. I've already done the square point. I'm bringing them up to up to snuff, to sharpening, bringing them up to shaving sharpness on this La Vanette Coticule, and then I'm going to finish one on a Vermont Slate and the other on a translucent Arkansas. The Vermont Slate is a green Vermont that's purple, and the Arkansas is a translucent Arkansas that is not translucent but butterscotch. So both new stones, and very interested new stones, and from a stone seller who is working with well, she does two things. She scours estate sales, especially for the Arkansas. She's looking for old stones that were heavily used by artisans, woodworkers, that kind of thing. And then in the case of the Vermont Slate, she's working with a quarry to try to find special performers. I purchased these two stones from her, and she has asked me to evaluate a third. I haven't. I'm going to do it, but I haven't let her know that I'm going to do it yet. Or I should say, I'm willing to do it. After she watches me do this, she may decide it's not worth it. You just never know. All right, I'm now finally starting to feel. Let's do a little dilution. There we go. Starting to feel the apex on the stone, doing the right thing. You can see the undercut's pretty nice. Maybe a little work here. Squeaky going on. I think this may have a slight cupping in it, like this. But we can work around that. It's very slight because I can feel. I think maybe the cupping is right here. Not surprising when you have a vintage razor like this. Each person has their own way of caring for it. These are in pretty darn good shape. There is spine wear, but it's the kind of spine wear I like to see. These were very inexpensive eBay purchases. All right, let's see if we can move on to the main attraction here. Yeah, that's looking really good. I can feel the apex on the stone from heel to toe. Let me do a little cleanup. Because I'm finishing on these other stones, all I need to do is get the edge here into shaving sharp territory, and then I'll take it the rest of the way on the finished stone. So let's check for burr. Now we're good. Yep. Yeah, we're good. All right. No, I do not have a lily white, Bill. But I think I'm going to have to get in contact with JPO so that I can give him some packing peanuts. Which, by the way, Bill, since you're here, thank you. If it weren't for you, I would not have gone to town on these polystyrene packing peanuts. You're the man. You get all the credit. Even though you say somebody else, you got it from somebody else. Now we're just going to ignore that. You're going to get all the credit. All right, we are in shaving sharp, actual shaving sharp territory here. Both these razors were eBay shave ready, which meant they were bouncing off the packing peanut. Okay, so now we get to the fun stuff. I have not used either of these before. I'm going to start with the translucent arc. Bill, this is a butterscotch color. And the way this happens is that they start out as translucent stones, and they're used for many, many years with oil, which literally gets into the stone and then oxidizes. There's no sense of oil on the surface of the stone, and this stone has been burnished on one side and has a slight texture on the other. I'd say this is the textured side here, and this is the burnished side here. I'm going to use the textured side. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll do that. And yeah, I'm going to use the textured side, I think. Now the question is, what to use on it. I think I'm going to use baby oil. See how that works. So I'm drying it off. Actually, after I dry it off, I can use the light to tell me which is the burnished side. Yeah, this is the non-burnished side here. So I'm going to use baby oil and see how that works. You know, being an arc, I may have jumped too soon. Because these are notoriously slow, and I may have needed to finish the taking the edge further on the cuticule before doing this step. But you know, it's not the end of the world. I can come back and do more. I just really want to get an idea of what this baby feels like. Quite happy with the size of this. Long and narrow suits my style very well. All right, so we're going to do the, just continue using the round point here. See what this feels like. Oh, nice. Yeah, very smooth, very sliding on glass. I can feel a slight amount of texture, very slight. This is probably finished with something like, 6,000 grit, either silicon carbide, sandpaper, or powder. That's what would be my guess. The feel with the baby oil it feels like a great match for this stone. Oh, wow. The edge is simply sliding right under the oil, especially in that direction. Let's make sure we get this direction. I think the razor is cupped a little bit in this direction. So I'm the cup is down, so this is arched a little above the stone. And that's one of the advantages of these smaller, narrower stones, is that I can simply compensate for that by working in sections. All right, let's see. I'm also going to cut, in the interest of time. With Arkansas stones, you can simply go on forever. But there's I like the notion of finding that point of diminishing returns with these stones. And so the way to do that is, once again, to use Bill's trick. I need to wash this. Once again, is to use Bill's trick, and I just use the packing peanut. Yeah, so yeah, Bill, the reason they get this color is somebody thought they were a terrific stone. I'm told that if you get a butterscotch stone, a butterscotch translucent arc, that the likelihood is great that it's a terrific stone, because it was used so much that the oil, so much and so long, that the oil seeped into it. And I kind of buy that. However, the other thing is that most artisans also buy tools, make sure that the tool serves their purposes, and then they find a way to make the tool work for them. So I think there's two sides to that, but I mean, I'm buying into it. I'm going to give it a shot, see how it works. Plus, it's cool looking, and there's a lot to how cool it looks. I mean, that's really, I'm shallow. That's why I bought it. Okay, let's see where we are. Yeah. Wow. Well, we are right there. We are pushing into the cloud. The packing peanut feels like a cloud that we're pushing into. We're just letting the razor fall into it. It was bouncing off of it in its shave-ready state coming off of eBay. I'll do a little bit more here, I think, just to... oh God, what was that? Ah, that was water. Yeah, that's so someone told me that oil and water don't mix. Seems like I heard that somewhere. All right, so now I've got the, there we go. Yeah, so I want to do a few. There it is. I'm just gonna do some more laps. I think the razor is ready, um, but I, I I didn't spend much time on this, and they are notoriously slow. So I'm going to just put some more laps in, and then we'll move to the Vermont green that's purple. Oh, well, how did you get natural? So Bill says that he has one of these that he ground a curve into to get a natural color. This one is impregnated all the way through. So I don't know how long that takes, but I know that my father, who taught me to sharpen um, many years ago, like dinosaurs walking the earth kind of times. Um, he had an old silicon carbide stone that he sharpened everything on. Flattening was not a thing that he did. So the thing looked like a skateboard, one of those U-shaped skateboard things, half pipe. It looked like a half pipe. But he had figured out how to use it to his. I mean, he could use. He did. He managed to do planes and chisels, knives, um, and other things. He had pretty much everything else he would use a file for. But that stone was completely. He put oil on it, but he never cleaned it. And so it was an absolute grimy mess. Being a little bit fastidious, first thing I did was to clean it up. He was livid, absolutely livid with me for cleaning it. So my guess is that a lot of these butterscotch stones came from people who felt there was, it was important to leave the oil that they used on the stone, in the stone, um, to maintain the goodness. Cool looking stone. Feels incredible. Let's see if clean this up. I need to move this over here. All right, let's see. Check here. All right, so gonna check sharpness again. Soapy water for cleaning. It feels incredible on that stone. I am literally using a sponge, a clean sponge, to let the soapy water clean the blade here. All right. Let's see if we were shave ready coming off the cuticule. Now let's see if we're shave ready as I define it, or actually as most of us define it. Now let's try another area. Yeah, that's really good. All right, so from a first experience with that stone, And because there's a caudicle base on this, I'm going to strop the bejesus out of this, because it will have sort of a toothy apex, and I want to make sure that the teeth on that apex get rounded appropriately. I'm now cleaning the stone, the sort of thing that I just told you my father would be livid with me, but I can't. I literally just can't help myself. And he's no longer around, so I can do this without fear of getting screamed at. Now I'm the one that gets to do the screaming. Okay, so here is the Vermont green that's purple. This is the same thing. There's a burnished side and then there's a non-burnished side. I'm shining, this is for my purpose. I don't know that I can show it to you. Both sides feel pretty much the same. I'm saying this side feels more like the burnished side. This side feels as if it has a little bit of tiny bit of tooth to it. But my suspicion is that there's not going to be much difference here. Now, these come with two slurry stones, a black, a sort of a charcoal gray really, and then there's a matching purple slurry stone. Let's see what the slurry from the black stone feels like. I'm going to be moving to the square point razor, and I better get over there and do a good drying of the razor that I just finished, so bear with me here. Not very well organized. I like doing the live streams, but I think it's not necessarily the most interesting for those who don't attend, and I don't have enough viewership that many people are interested in attending a live stream. For me, very much appreciate, I've got both Bill and JPO. I really appreciate the two of you showing up. Yeah, 9:30 at JPO's place, so might be starting to get late, but yeah, this is building a slurry. Cool. Okay, let's see what this is my first experience with any kind of Vermont stone. Here is the square point version. I need to go back and make sure the round point version is totally clean. So I'm going to do that now. It has, these are straight off of eBay. They have a little bit of corrosion on them. It's in the form of patina, so I'm not too worried about it. I intend to use these as kind of what we call sharpening mules in the knife world. In other words, I'm going to just use them to do what I'm doing here, test stones and play around with different approaches to creating an edge, that sort of thing. Okay, so that is dried off. And let's get going on this one. First, this is my first use of a Vermont slate. Of any kind. I'm going slowly because I'm trying to get a feel. I'm sort of surprised. There's resistance. I can really feel the stone already grabbing the edge here. Yeah, yeah, it's already grabbing the edge big time, so I'm going to water down. Let's spin it and see if the other side feels the same way. Yeah, it does. So I'm going to let the stone and the slurry work on this a little bit. And then we'll do a little quick check to see if it feels almost like the edge might be moving backwards. So let's see if that's happening, if the combination of the surface texture and slurry are moving the edge backwards. No, that's silent and effortless. Oh no, there's a little resistance there. All right, so let's. I'm doing this completely based on feel. I'm going to ONR this thing up a little bit. Try to reduce surface tension, and now that feels amazing. Make sure the heel is digging in properly. Yep, there we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. The feel now is good. Got to make sure I'm... My biggest... I have a tendency to forget about the middle of the razor. I've mentioned this before. And I always, in the microscope, I tend to always show the center of the razor. It's often the case that the heel and toe look a lot better. Oh, this is amazing. Okay, so we have incredible. The ONR made a big difference. Let's, my guess is that a recommendation for this would be to use soapy water. Thanks to JPO, I've glommed on to ONR, which I prefer to soapy water. So let's check this out. Yeah, that's better. That's really good. And again, this has a Cutlery base, so it's going to get that's really good. So it's going to get a, yeah, that's real good. So it's going to get a lot of stropping. I'm going to call it quits here. Oh, hey, Sean, how you doing? Sorry, I'm terrible at this. Smurf goo. Yes, JPO, I agree. Let's see, I'm backing up here. So Sean joined a while back. Let's see, Big Red 420, hi there. I think I'm gonna get a Jared plate. Actually, I have a Jared plate, Big Red 420, that I will happily give you for less than he sells them. I'm never gonna use it. So if you, my contact information is in the About section. If you want to buy my plate, you can get a brand new unused plate at a discount. Hey Sean, I see you arrived. Let's see here. Yeah, I agree with Sean, Bill. I miss your videos. Let's see here. Smurf Goo. Yeah, I agree, JPO. That I love that name. Let's see. Smurf Goo is in fact awesome for honing, and I don't, I literally have a car that when I bought it, the dealership said we'll wash your car for free. So yeah, they see me a lot. Yeah, I would assume Ballistol and water works as well. As same idea, reducing surface tension. I'm not sure what the "Know You're Awesome" is in response to, but I appreciate that, Sean. All right, and Bill, it looks like was signing off, and I'm going to also sign off. These are going to get a lot of stropping. Sean, you can watch sort of the beginning of this live stream when it ends, and you'll see an introduction to what I did here. But briefly, this is a Vermont green that's purple. And great, Big Red 420. I'm just not going to go there on the whole 420 thing. Yeah, I have that plate. I never have used it, never really intend to use it. So I bought the plate primarily because of the amount of attention that Jared has given me in answering questions on his approach to convex honing. Prior to my discussion with him, I'd done the calculations on the amount of material that the different radii that he uses create, and had kind of decided that in terms of shaping, and it wasn't that important to me. So I bought the plate really just as a thank you for giving me so much of his time. But I've never used it, and as I said, never intend to. So anyway, I'm going to strop these razors, probably 40 laps on linen, and then another 80 on leather. And I'll be test shaving these, and I'll put microscope images of the edges up as part of each test shave. Also, I'll be getting back to the 14 shootout. I have a lot of opportunity. This is November. I'm doing BBS November, which means I'm shaving twice a day. So one of these razors I'll be using for my second shave today. And then I'm also doing November, meaning that I'm using a bore brush for every shave. So I'm doing 60 shaves, and I'm using a bore brush for 58 of them. I didn't get on to November until today. So the first two shaves I did were with Badger brushes, but from now on I'll be using bore. So that's a summary of what I'm about. Yes, Big Red 420. I agree. He puts a lot of effort into it, and I think he tries very hard. His view of these things is quite different from mine, but that's okay. That doesn't really matter. my decision was not made on personality. It was made on analysis. And so I'm all for Jared's enthusiasm and the amount of effort that he puts in. So you're happy to buy this from me, and contact me and we'll work something out. For the rest of you, thanks for listening to me. It's been almost an hour. I think I've used every word I have in my vocabulary, so it's probably time to sign off. Thanks again, and I'll see you in a shave test soon.